Snow fell gently over the small Christmas market, glittering under the warm yellow lights like heaven had sprinkled magic right onto the streets. Carolers sang in soft harmonies. Children giggled while chasing each other with candy canes, and couples walked hand in hand. But Emily Parker stood alone. She adjusted her red scarf, pulled her coat tighter, and checked her phone for the 10th time. No message, no call, no date. The man she had been matched with, David something, had insisted she meet him at the Christmas market for a cozy holiday vibe. Emily had spent hours getting ready. She was nervous, hopeful, excited. After 2 years of heartbreak, she finally allowed herself to believe in love again. But now 40 minutes had passed, he wasn't coming. She sat down on a wooden bench beside a giant Christmas tree, decorated with bells and handwritten wishes from local children. Her cheeks weren't cold from the winter, they were cold from disappointment. Just then her phone buzzed. A text, her heart jumped. But when she opened it, the message crushed her hope completely. "Sorry, I saw you from a distance. You're not really my type. Good luck, though." Emily froze. Her throat tightened, her eyes burned. He had rejected her, without even speaking to her. On Christmas at a public place. The humiliation hit her like ice water. She quickly stood up, pretending she hadn't read it. Pretending everything was fine, pretending her heart hadn't just been stepped on. She wrapped her coat around herself and started walking toward the exit of the market. The lights blurred as her eyes watered. "Why do I even try?" she whispered. "Sometimes life breaks your heart, just so it can guide you to the exact moment that will heal it." And for Emily, that moment was only a few steps away. As she passed a stall selling gingerbread houses, 2 little girls, identical twins around 5 years old, bundled in white coats, suddenly ran across her path. Emily stopped instantly to avoid bumping into them. The twins stared at her with wide, shining eyes and like they recognized her. The older twin tugged on Emily's coat gently. "Excuse me," she whispered. Her voice was soft, almost trembling. "Miss, can you help us?" Emily wiped her eyes quickly and forced a smile. "Of course, are you lost?" Both girls shook their heads. The younger one held something in her mitten, a small snowflake ornament carved from wood. She stretched it toward Emily. "Mommy told us," the little girl said, "that we would meet someone with kind eyes, someone who needed us as much as we need her." Emily blinked, her breath caught. What do you mean?" The older twin stepped closer, her voice steady despite the cold. "Will you sit with us, please? Just for a little bit?" Emily hesitated. She didn't know these girls. Where were their parents? Why were they alone? But something in their eyes, innocence, warmth, something almost magical, pulled her in. She crouched down to their level. "Where's your mom and dad?" The girls looked at each other. Then the older one whispered, "We don't have a mom anymore." Emily's heart broke instantly. Before she could respond, the younger twin gently grabbed Emily's gloved hand. "Today she told us we'd find her Christmas wish, the lady from her stories." Emily felt a strange wave of warmth move through her chest. "The lady from her stories?" she repeated softly. The girls nodded in sync like 2 tiny snow angels. "She said," the older one whispered, "there's someone in the world whose heart is lonely like our. And when we meet her, we'll know." Emily gasped quietly. Her throat tightened again, but this time not from sadness, went from something else. A pull, a connection, a spark. She wiped her cheeks quickly. I'm sure your dad is nearby. Let's find him, okay?" Before the twins could answer, a deep voice behind them spoke. "Girls, there you are." Emily stood up slowly. A tall man in a dark coat rushed forward, breathing anxiously, holding 2 cups of hot chocolate. His face was handsome but tired, like someone who carried grief gently but constantly. He knelt down, checking the twins over. "You can't run off like that, sweetheart." Then he looked up at Emily, and for a moment he froze. Emily felt her stomach flip. Had she done something wrong? Was he upset? But his expression wasn't angry. It was stunned, almost emotional, as if he had seen her before, as if he recognized her. He swallowed hard. I'm so sorry they bothered you." "They didn't bother me," Emily said softly. "They were just looking for someone." The man looked at his daughters, then back at Emily. "What did they say to you?" he asked quietly. Emily hesitated. She didn't want to say something that might upset him, but the older twin tugged his sleeve. "Daddy," she said, "we found her. The lady from Mommy's Christmas stories." Emily's breath caught. The father froze completely. Color drained from his face. His eyes glistened. For a moment, the world around them, the music, the laughter, the Christmas chatter, faded into silence. The man whispered, "Impossible," but his voice trembled, not because he didn't believe it, but because a part of him wanted to. The younger twin slipped her tiny hand into Emily's. "Miss, will you sit with us?" "Please." Emily looked between the twins and their father and in the softly falling snow. She should have been crying from heartbreak. Instead, she felt something warm spreading through her chest. A strange magical pull. "Okay," she whispered. "I'll sit with you." The twins cheered softly and tugged her toward the bench. As Emily sat down with them under the glowing Christmas tree, she couldn't help but feel this wasn't an accident. This wasn't coincidence. This was something deeper. Something and meant, sometimes life doesn't give you what you think you want, because it's saving you for the moment that will change everything. Keep watching, because what happens next will leave you speechless. Snow drifted softly as Emily sat with the twin girls beneath the shimmering Christmas tree. The lights reflected in their bright eyes, making them look like two tiny stars glowing against the night. Their father stood a few steps away, staring at Emily as though she weren't a stranger but a page from a story he'd read 1,000 times. Finally, he moved closer. "Thank you," he said softly. "I didn't mean for them to overwhelm you." "They didn't," Emily replied, managing a small smile. "They're sweet." The older twin tugged her coat sleeve. "I'm Lily," she said proudly. "And I'm Lucy," the younger one chimed. Emily laughed gently. "Lily and Lucy, those names suit you." The father sat slowly on the bench beside them, hands wrapped tightly around the hot chocolate cups. "I'm Daniel," he said, voice steady but cautious. Emily nodded politely. But she couldn't shake the way he kept looking at her. Not flirtatious, not confused, but like someone trying to understand something impossible. Lily scooted closer to Emily, her tiny boots dangling off the bench. "Miss Emily," she said, "can we tell you our favorite story? Mommy used to tell it every Christmas." Emily blinked, of course. Lucy grinned and climbed onto Emily's other side like she had known her for years. Daniel stiffened. "Girls, maybe not tonight." "Please, Daddy," Lily begged. "It's her." Emily turned slowly. "Her? Who?" Lucy reached into her little coat pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. The edges were worn, the creases deep as if it had been opened 100 times. She handed it to Emily with fragile care. Emily hesitated, then unfolded it. It wasn't a letter, it was a drawing. A Christmas scene drawn by a child's hand, a mother, 2 twin girls, and next to them a woman with a red scarf, long brown hair, and kind eyes. Emily's breath hitched. It looked like her. She looked up at Daniel, confused and speechless. His face had gone completely pale. "My wife used to paint," Daniel whispered. "Before she got sick, and she drew this for the girls." Emily traced the drawn figure with trembling fingers. "But why does she look like me?" She whispered. Daniel swallowed hard. "She said the girls would meet someone like her one day. Someone who would bring warmth back into their winters. Someone who would feel familiar," his voice cracked. "She called you the Christmas woman." Emily felt a chill run through her entire body. This wasn't coincidence. This wasn't random. The woman who drew this had never met Emily, yet somehow she painted her likeness years ago. "Maybe it's just a coincidence," Emily said softly. Daniel shook his head. "She imagined you in such detail. The red scarf, the hair. Even the way you look at the girls." Emily's chest tightened. Lucy curled into her side and whispered, "Mommy said she would send someone to love us when she couldn't." Emily felt her throat burn. So much loss wrapped in so much hope. His voice low. "Listen, Emily, I don't want you to feel pressured. They haven't connected with anyone like this since their mom passed." Emily nodded slowly. "I understand." But something inside her felt like it was being pulled, not by guilt or obligation, but by something deeper. Something warm, something ancient, like destiny brushing against her heart. The girls swung their legs while humming a Christmas tune, unaware of the storm in the adults' minds. Daniel rubbed his hands together nervously. "Today is hard for them," he murmured. "It's the anniversary of—" he paused, "of her passing." Emily's heart clenched. "On Christmas Eve." He nodded. Before Emily could respond, Lucy held up a gingerbread cookie shaped like a heart. "Miss Emily?" she asked gently. "Yes, sweetheart? Are you lonely too?" Emily froze. Lucy's eyes were so innocent, so honest, the kind that saw truth without words. Emily swallowed. Yes, she whispered. A little. Lily rested her head on Emily's arm. Good, she said softly, then we can fix it together. Emily felt tears prick her eyes and his heart twisted. There was something magical, unreal, about watching his daughters cling to this stranger like she was a missing piece of their lives. He had seen them withdraw, hide their smiles, cling to memories of their mother. He had feared no one would ever reach them again. But this woman, this unexpected, heartbreakingly kind woman, had done it in minutes. He exhaled slowly, breath shimmering in the cold. Emily, he said softly, would you join us for a cup of hot chocolate? As a thank you? Emily hesitated. Her heart whispered yes, her head whispered careful. But then Lucy grabbed her hand tightly. Please, she pleaded. Emily smiled, softly, helplessly. Okay, 1 cup. The girls cheered and jumped off the bench, twirling in the snow. As they ran toward the hot chocolate stall, Daniel and Emily walked behind them. Daniel spoke quietly. I don't know why my wife drew you. I don't know how you're here. Wearing the same scarf, looking exactly like the picture. He stopped walking and turned to her. But the moment the girls saw you, I saw something I haven't seen in years. Emily looked up slowly. What? Hope, Daniel whispered. Emily's chest tightened again. The snow fell faster now, swirling around them like a gentle storm of white feathers. Daniel looked down. I'm not asking anything of you, he said. You don't owe us anything, but thank you for giving them one good Christmas moment. Emily nodded, her voice barely a whisper. I think they're giving me one too. Daniel's eyes softened. And for the first time that night, Emily felt the pain of her blind date fade into something insignificant. Because somehow, she was exactly where she needed to be. As they reached the stall, Lily tugged Emily again. Miss Emily, she said, after hot chocolate, can we show you something Mommy left for you? Emily blinked. For me? The girls nodded vigorously. Daniel froze, his eyes widened. Girls, you shouldn't, he began. But the older twin shook her head. It's time, Daddy. Emily felt a shiver run through her body. Something was waiting for her. Something their mother left behind. And suddenly, Emily realized her night wasn't just changing, her life was. The next morning, Emily woke up to the soft sound of giggles in the hallway. For a moment she forgot where she was, until she saw a small red sweater draped over the chair. The memories rushed back. James, the twins, the dinner, the proposal to spend time together on Christmas. And the little girls who had looked up at her with bright, hopeful eyes and asked, Will you be our mom? Emily's heart fluttered. Before she could gather her thoughts, there was a gentle knock. Miss Emily? Lily's small voice came through the door. Are you awake? Emily opened the door and the twins ran inside, hugging her legs tightly. Daddy made pancakes, Rose announced proudly. He made them in the shape of Christmas trees. Emily felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Being welcomed, being wanted, being loved. Breakfast was warm, simple, and full of laughter. James watched Emily with admiration as she helped the twins cut their pancakes, listened to their stories, and smiled like she belonged there. When the girls ran to play with their toys, James took a slow breath. Emily, I know last night was unexpected, he began. But the girls, they've never connected with someone like they did with you. I haven't seen them this happy in years. Emily looked into his eyes, and this time she wasn't nervous. There was sincerity there, vulnerability, hope. James, she said gently, I didn't expect any of this either, but spending time with you three, it felt right. His shoulders relaxed with relief. He moved closer. Emily, I don't want to rush anything, but I want you to know, I'm willing to try. With you, with us. Emily's heart trembled, not with fear, but with possibility. But what about the date? The setup, she asked softly. You had no idea it would be me. James chuckled. I told my friend I wasn't excited. I thought every blind date would feel forced. But then you walked in looking like the most beautiful miracle on Christmas Eve. Emily blushed. Besides, the girls chose you first. He smiled. And they choose with their hearts. Just when everything felt perfect, the doorbell rang. James frowned. No one visits us at this hour. He opened the door and froze. A woman stood outside, wrapped in a luxurious coat, heels clicking against the porch. Her expression was cold, sharp, and judgmental. It was Victoria, the twins' biological mother. Emily felt the air tighten. Victoria stepped inside without waiting for permission. "So," she said loudly, looking Emily up and down, "this is the little replacement?" James stood firm. "What do you want, Victoria?" "I want my girls for Christmas," she snapped. "You can't keep them away forever." James clenched his jaw. "You didn't show up for their school play, or their birthday, or any holiday for years. You walked away." Victoria waved a hand dismissively. "Don't be dramatic, I was finding myself." "You left us," James said. "We built a life without you." Emily stepped back, watching quietly, but her presence didn't go unnoticed. Victoria smirked. "And now he's dating some charity case? How predictable." Emily's heart stung. But before she could speak, the twins appeared at the stairs. "Mom?" Lily said softly, confused. Rose hid behind Emily's leg, trembling. Victoria opened her arms. "Girls, come to Mommy," but the twins didn't move. Instead, Lily whispered, "We want to stay here." Victoria scoffed. "Because of her?" She pointed sharply at Emily. Lily nodded bravely. "She reads with us, she listens. She plays, she loves us." Rose spoke up, voice shaking. "You never do." Victoria's face hardened. "You will regret this, James." James stepped forward. "No. The only regret would be letting you hurt them again." Victoria glared, turned, and slammed the door behind her. Emily exhaled slowly, shocked by what she had witnessed. The twins ran to her, clinging tightly. "Don't leave us," Rose whispered. "Please stay," Lily added. Emily hugged them both, tears forming. "I'm not going anywhere." That evening, James lit a small fire in the living room. The Christmas tree sparkled. Snow fell softly outside. Emily sat with the girls as they decorated handmade ornaments. James approached her quietly, holding a tiny wrapped box. "This is for you," he said. Emily opened it slowly. Inside was a delicate silver locket. When she opened it, she saw 3 small photos. Lily. Rose at James. Her breath caught. "We want you in our family," James said. "Not because we're lonely, but because you filled a space we didn't even know was empty." Emily's eyes filled with tears. He continued softly. "This Christmas you gave us hope again, and if you're willing, I want you in our lives. Not just for a day, but for all the days after." The twins hugged her from both sides. "Be our mommy," they begged again. Emily held them close and whispered, "Yes, yes, I want to be part of your family." James gently took her hand. Emily leaned into him, and for the first time in a long time, she felt complete. Snow fell gently on the small backyard. Laughter echoed from every corner as the twins, now more confident, happier, and brighter, ran through the fresh snow. Emily stood on the porch holding a tray of hot cocoa. James wrapped his arms around her from behind. "Last Christmas," he whispered, "I thought my life was stuck in winter forever. Then you arrived and everything bloomed again." Emily smiled softly. "I didn't know love could enter so quietly." James kissed her forehead. Inside the house, a framed photo hung proudly. Emily, James, and the twins, smiling as a family. A new beginning, born from heartbreak, saved by kindness, and strengthened by love. And all because on one lonely Christmas night, 2 little girls asked a rejected woman, "Will you be our mom?" And she had the courage to say yes.